Our tool is called Graphite. The tool is abbreviated to GT. The first command you need to be aware of is GT log. So if I go ahead and type in GT log, what I get is I get a DAG of my repository. So what do I mean by that? Well, here is the branch I'm on, main. And main has 3 child branches. It has account for empty state, it has fixed crash and reload, and it has review queue API. What's interesting about this is that review queue API is actually a stack of 3. So we see review queue API has on top of it review queue server, has on top of it review queue front end. And so as I was saying before, with stacks, you don't end up just breaking out distinct changes, but you end up seeing the division of distinct changes to be more granular than you may have previously. Even though I'm working on this review queue feature, we see API, server, and front end as separate, which means that we can merge them separately and they can get reviewed by separate people. And this makes sense because sometimes the best person to review a front end change isn't the best person to review a server change. So review queue, even though this looks fancy, this is just the under the hood. So for example, this is a branch. I can go ahead and I can do git checkout and I can give it a branch name. And we'll see that I'm now on that branch. And if we were to run Graphite log again, what you would see is that we have the same visualization, but this time Graphite knows that we're on review queue server. Cool. So I'm on review queue server. When you start working with stacks, one of the challenges with merges is the ability to navigate between stacks. And so you can always do this using git. So you could git checkout next and previous. But we give you convenience methods for this. So you can do Graphite branch next or Graphite branch prev in order to go forward or backward respectively. And so here you'll see I've just checked out front end. So I'm now on the tip of this branch. So you see that, okay, I'm on front end. Great. I want to go ahead and make a change. So we've been working on this review queue feature. We had an API, then we had a server, then we had the front end. And now we want to add some of that front end polish. We want to add some icons. So I go ahead and I touch icons. I go ahead and git add all. And in normal Git, I could do this by checking out a branch and then committing to that branch. In Graphite, we have a shortcut that does just this. I can do GT branch create, and I can give it a name like add icons. And what's going to happen is it will go ahead and it'll create a branch and it'll create that commit, which will turn our stack of 3 into a stack of 4. So we still have these same 2 branches, but now this stack of 3, API, server, and front end, has become a stack of 4 with add icons as the latest branch on the top. Let's say that in adding icons, I realized that there was a change that we needed to make to server. So perhaps I realized that, oh, there's a file I'm missing, or perhaps Merrill commented in code review and said, hey, Tomas, you're missing this thing. That's okay. I can go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and check out that server. I'm going to go ahead and touch some files. So touch some file. I'm going to go ahead and git add all. And then what I can do in Graphite is I can either add it using git. So I could do that. I could just do a git commit. Or what I can do is I can use Graphite to commit, which will also do that branch restacking for me. So if I were to do GT commit create, and I give it a name such as forgot a file, what you'll see is it'll go ahead and it'll add this file to this branch, and it'll automatically fix my upstack branches. Now, what do I mean by that? If we go ahead and look at the log, what we're going to see is that these branches are all still in the stack. So we still have API, we have server, we have front end, and we have icons. The notable thing about this is that server now has 2 commits in it. So previously it just had 1, this add review queue filter server. Now it has 2, has that one and the forgot file. But what's also notable about this is that the 2 branches which were previously upstack of it, review queue front end and add icons, are still on top of it. And so Graphite has gone ahead and done the heavy work of saying, oh, I need to rebase these for you. Now, what would happen if there was a merge conflict here? What it would do is Graphite would say, hey, we can't automatically upstack this for you because there's a merge conflict. And instead would wait for you to go ahead and call Graphite stack fix. And this would go ahead and do the rebasing for you, stopping to allow you to fix any merge conflicts that happened. As we go ahead and we built up this feature, so we now have the API, the server, the front end, and some icons. We're going to go ahead and we're going to want to submit this all to GitHub. So we're going to go to the top of the stack using Graphite branch prev. Now in Graphite, every command can be abbreviated with a single letter. So for example, previously I did GT branch prev, or GT branch next. Here I can just do GTBN, and I can even give it a number to say branch next 2, meaning take me forward 2 of them. Great. Now I'm on the tip of the stack and I have icons. And what I want to do is I actually want to go ahead and I want to submit this to GitHub. So what I can do is I can do Graphite stack submit. And what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and automatically push all these branches to GitHub. It's then for each branch going to check, one, is there already a pull request open for this? If there is, go ahead and just update it. If there isn't, let's go ahead and create one, and I'll prompt you to create one. So here we're going to see server, we're going to see API, we're going to here see something like server. So we're going to call this, let me go ahead and call this server changes. Perfect, nothing, publish. Going to publish that one exactly as is, and we're going to publish this one exactly as is. Great. And so when we actually create the PR, we're going to do two things for you. So let's go ahead and check out this front end. What you're going to see it did is it's going to set the base branch equal to the branch previous to it in the stack. So for example, front end is dependent on server. The advantage of this is that the files change will only include the difference between those two. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to create this comment for you, which says, hey, like this is the current dependency chain. And so you see main, dependent on it is API, dependent on that is server, depending on that is front end, dependent on that is icons. And so you and your reviewer can look at this and say, oh, cool, like this is part of like a broader set of changes that we might want to look at or work with. As you start to merge those in, you can go back here and you can type in Graphite repos thing. And what that will do is once any of these are merged in, it'll go ahead and delete it for you locally, and it will go ahead and rebase everything else on top of main so that you can keep sort of moving the stack forward. So this is the CLI. The other thing we offer is a website. The website is intended as a way to make your code review easier. So here's an example of my actual view of Graphite. You log in via GitHub the same way you might for Slack or something like that, and you get this view. What this view has is a bunch of panels that show you all the pull requests that you need to act on. So you can filter what repos you want to look at. You can change what logic you want to have included here. So here you'll see these are ones which are not authored by me, but which I am a reviewer, and my review status and the status of them is review required. You can see whether it's been approved and how CI or merge status looks. And you can go ahead and see stats. So for example, here I can click on this and say like, okay, cool. Like here's what the stat situation is like, and this is what's dependent on what. These sections are completely customizable. They are reorderable. They're renamable. And what we're working on right now, which is in employee-only mode, I'll give you all a sneak peek, is that as we're hoping to roll out this ability to be able to actually do the code review proper on Graphite. And so, for example, here you can see that I just opened something up. I can see the code. I can see the CI status of the reviewers and a comment chain if there were one. And I can click on this and I can leave comments and I can respond to comments and all that. An important thing I forgot is that everything on Graphite, both on the website and at the CLI, is stored entirely to you guys. So for example, the CLI stores all the code in Git. So you could push your Git repository, throw out your laptop, get a new one, clone it, and all your Graphite data will still be there. And the same is true of the website. We store everything in GitHub. And so you can rest assured that your data is yours. We just want to provide you a better tool to work with it. That's Graphite. Thanks for watching.